Hello, my name is Summer with Summerly Design Co. and I am an obsessive sock knitter and I design sock knitting patterns. And I have been waiting for this video for months. I have been working on a new pattern set for a very long time. When I first conceived of the idea and then started working on it, I was so excited to share it because it turned out even better than I imagined. I have six pairs of socks to show you today, and they are all so beautiful, so colorful. So let's get into it. All right, let's go back first to 2020 when I released my very first Shorty Sock pattern set. And I'm telling you all of this to set you up for where we're going. This is important for a reason and you'll see why. So 2020, very first Shorty Sock pattern set. I did a basic Shorty Sock pattern in the set. I did this really pretty ruffled Shorty Sock pattern that has a cute little ruffle on the top. And then I did the Palm Squad sneaker socks, and they had this cute little palm. They had arch support. They were just these cute little athletic socks. So that was a Shorty Sock Set Volume 1 way back in 2020. Then in like 2021 or 2022, I don't remember, I did Shorty Sock Set Volume 2. And I did these cute little socks. I called them the Brioche Light because they have a pattern at the cuff and the toe that kind of mimics the look of two-color brioche. And then I did a DK ribbed Shorty sock. And then I did this really cute sock with a folded cuff that has like a little surprise color on the inside of the cuff. It's just kind of fun. And the folded tab cuffs are really, really comfortable. Since volumes 1 and 2, I have not released a Shorty Sock set until today. Today we have Shorty Sock Set Volume 3, and it is the best one yet. It is probably the best thing I've ever knitted in my entire life. We did all of these socks. I did 6 pairs, 12 socks. And when I say that this was the most fun I have ever had knitting, I mean it. I wanted to cry when it was done. When I had knit the final pair, I was just devastated because this was the most fun I have ever had knitting working on these socks. I watched all 8 seasons of Game of Thrones while I did it. And I just hibernated in my home knitting beautiful, colorful Shorty socks for just days and days and days. And each day I got to watch these designs unfold that I had been working on, and it was just thrilling, and they're just so much fun to knit. So what is the theme of Shorty Sock Set Volume 3? It is Fair Isle inspired. I have 3 beautiful Fair Isle designs that I knit up 2 versions of each pattern because, again, colorful, fun, couldn't stop knitting. And they're all designs based on traditional Fair Isle knitting. I cannot wait to dive in and show you each individual one. The Shorty Sock Set Volume 3 is out right now, today. You can grab it. It is on sale for a limited time. And to celebrate Shorty Sock knitting in general, you can also grab Shorty Sock Set Volume 1 and Volume 2 on sale as well. And I will have links to all of that in the description below the video. So let's get into talking about this. So when I first came up with the concept of wanting to do a Shorty sock set, another one, and I knew I wanted to do the designs based on traditional Fair Isle knitting, in my head, I pictured this beautiful photo of a wheel of colorful Fair Isle Shorty socks just in a circle. And I knew that I had to create that photo. I am a photographer first and foremost. That is what I did many years ago in what feels like another lifetime. I love product photography. I love photography in general. And so a lot of times when I come up with a design idea, I start picturing finished photos in my head before I've even knit anything. And that is the way of things with this. I pictured a photo with all 12 of these socks just in a circle, creating a giant like wheel, like a cheese wheel, a cheese wheel of colorful Fair Isle style socks when I pictured this. So that meant I had to knit 6 pairs. If I wanted 12 full socks to make a giant circle, I needed to knit 12 socks in total. And that seemed daunting at first. Like, am I really going to be able to like knit the same kind of sock, 12 times? That's a lot. I needn't have worried because when I started knitting the first one, I was like, oh man, this is a lot of fun. And then I knit the second pair, and then I started doing different versions of each pair because it literally was that fun. When I say this is the most fun I've ever had knitting, oh boy, I mean it. I'm genuinely sad that it's over, and I have other ideas for other patterns, but I don't know, this time in my life when fall was setting in and I had kind of started putting up some festive winter decorations. I won't say Christmas, I haven't decorated for Christmas yet. Just some festive winter decorations, and I had my bloody, violent Game of Thrones playing while I had my cozy decorations. It was just magic. They're so much fun to knit because Fair Isle patterns are deceptively simple. They look super complicated. When you look at this, it looks so complicated to make, but it's not. It's actually very easy to do. You can zone out and watch TV shows while you're doing this. You're only ever knitting with 2 colors per round. So it looks like you've got to manage like all of these colors in one round. You don't. Every round only has 2 colors per round, which is pretty simple to do. The repeats are very simple. You're talking 4 or maybe 8 stitch repeats that are very easy to memorize once you get going. So yeah, you just go round by round, you look at what your little pattern is and you repeat it all the way around with just 2 colors. So it's engaging and interesting. It keeps you going. You just want to keep going to watch that beautiful pattern emerge and pop out. But it's not hard. Like you can watch TV, you can talk, you can hang out with friends, you can listen to an audiobook. And that's what I love about this, because it looks like wizardry, but it's like actually so easy to do. Traditional Fair Isle knitting, of course, a true Fair Isle garment is knit on Fair Isle using 100% Shetland wool. There are very recognizable designs and patterns to Fair Isle knitting. I was inspired by those designs. Obviously, I'm not on Fair Isle. I'm an Indian kid from Oklahoma, so I'm about as far away from Fair Isle as you can get. But the great thing about these knitting traditions is that they've been really well preserved by the people, whose ancestors first originated them. And there is such a great history and tradition with Fair Isle knitting. And so that is such a gift to the rest of us who love these beautiful designs and can be inspired by them and want to knit them. So let's go through each sock. I'm going to start with the very first pattern. And again, I did 2 versions of each chart. And so whenever you buy the pattern, you're going to have 2 different charts for each of the 3 patterns with different colors. That way you can kind of be inspired by all of the different color options. So the first pattern is a very simple repeat. Fair Isle knitting typically involves repeating patterns, and there's borders, they're kind of geometric, and again, only 2 colors per round. So this is the very first one that I knit. And I absolutely adore this. It's just so simple and beautiful. And the colors, I chose really warm colors with one little pop of a cool color, this mint. And I just think that turned out so beautiful, the little pops of hot pink. For the second one, I did blues with some reds and golds. I really love this color palette. I think all of these socks are so festive. I think shorty socks are so handy to have. I personally love wearing shorty socks. It's really great with house shoes, with clogs like Birkenstocks. And I think especially for gift knitting season, shorty socks are the way to go. I can knit a shorty Fair Isle sock in about a day. Like it really does go very quickly when you are knitting color work, stranded color work on little round shorty needles. Man, I just get going and it is just magic. They knit up pretty fast. So for the festive gift knitting season, I mean, this little pile of socks, like you don't get more festive than that. And so yeah, I really think that these are great for gift knitting. Of course, I don't knit for other people. I just knit for myself. So all of these socks are mine. And they're extra warm because they're stranded color work. So you have all of these floats on the wrong side, and that adds thickness and warmth to your sock. So really great to wear around the house. They're just colorful, fun, and festive, and I love that. So that is the first pattern. Now let's look at the second pattern I did. Oh man, I love this one. Okay, so the first one I did was kind of like this fiery phoenix color palette, and I love that. Really pretty oranges, rust, pops of hot pink, and aqua. My daughter said that it managed to look both like Fair Isle and Native American designs, and I kind of love that. I think that's such a cool thing that I kind of blended like color stories from my traditions with, you know, the Fair Isle knitting tradition, and that's what's so cool about knitting is we have all these wonderful traditions that we can all share and infuse our own personalities in. So really love this first one. A lot of Fair Isle knitting, you will see smaller borders like this, and they bracket kind of a larger motif, a larger design. And so I kind of did that with this sock. I kind of followed that particular traditional rule. But again, these are inspired by Fair Isle. I am not from there. So all of the different traditional rules that go with Fair Isle knitting, I did not follow for these socks. I kind of took some of the design inspiration and then kind of made them my own. The second version, once again, is a cooler color story. We did blues and greens with this one, and oh man, like each one that I kept knitting, I would design these in Excel. I use Excel to kind of, you know, work out my charts and the colors. And so I would put the color palettes in, and you never know how something's going to look until you knit it up. And so this one I was like, that might be kind of dull. And then I knit it up and I was like, nope, that looks amazing. And I think that the two of them together are just so beautiful. They just really turned out so pretty. All right, now the third and final one. And again, I knit up 2 versions of each one. We have this one first. This is the first one I did. I did lavenders, reds, blacks, and kind of a really pretty light pink. And I think this is such a cool design. I really, really loved the different motifs in this one. And then I did, this one's wild. It is so colorful. Lots of hot pinks, hot blues, hot red. I mean, I really went with some neon colors in this one. Barely balanced by some non-neon. This one's really bright, really festive, really fun. And oh man, like I cannot tell you how much fun I had knitting this entire sock set. And once again, these look so complicated, I know, and that is the beauty of Fair Isle knitting, is that it looks really complicated, but I promise that you can do this. Like it's so easy to do. All of these socks use a forethought heel. Forethought heels are great for stranded color work, especially when your stranded color work pattern butts up against the heel. If you've never knit a forethought heel, do not worry. I created a new tutorial on how to do a forethought heel. It's out today. I'm going to link that in the description below the video. I'm also going to link my tutorial on knitting stranded color work so that if you're new to that, or maybe you feel like your skills aren't quite up there, you can watch that video and I promise you, you will be fine. Fair Isle knitting is great for beginner stranded color work because the floats aren't as long. Like some of these other designs, like this, your tension really needs to be spot on. There's some pretty long floats in this. This is not Fair Isle. This is just a stranded color work design. And this can be a little harder for newer colorwork knitters when there's longer floats. Your tension really has to be spot on with that to make sure that it fits over the heel. But with Fair Isle knitting, you don't typically have a lot of long floats. So it's a lot easier to keep a good tension so that your fabric still has some stretch. It can fit over your heel. It's just easier to knit if your floats are only 2 or 3 or 4 or 6 stitches apart. So I will link both of those tutorials below so that you don't have to worry about, I don't have the skills to do this. I promise you, you do, and I can help you with those little things that maybe you're not sure about, such as the forethought heel, or just some good tips and tricks to be successful with stranded colorwork knitting. I think it's really fun because Fair Isle knitting is always stranded colorwork, but not all stranded colorwork is Fair Isle. For instance, I've got some examples here. This is stranded colorwork knitting, but it's not Fair Isle. This is stranded colorwork knitting, but it's not Fair Isle. I just showed you this daisy pattern. Those are all stranded colorwork designs, but they are not Fair Isle. Fair Isle definitely has its own unique look, and I'm gonna post a link to a really great video with 2 Shetland knitters who are talking about Fair Isle knitting. I'll post that in the link below in case you want to learn more about this magical tradition. So, oh man, I had so much fun knitting all these socks. And once again, Shorty Sock Set Volume 3, Fair Isle Inspired, is out. It's on sale, and you can grab the link to these patterns in the description below the video. So very, very excited about it. I want to show you what they look like on feet and do a little fashion show with the socks. It's one thing, you know, to look at them when they're, you know, on camera and I'm just holding them up and showing them to you, but they look so cute when they're actually worn on feet. So let's take a look. Oh, so fun. Once again, I truly had the best time knitting this delightful pile of colorful, festive Fair Isle socks. So perfect for this time of year. Dave's home from running errands. I think he went to Target. Did you go to Target?
I did.
He did. He went to Target. So yeah, so these are really great even if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, but for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, they're very cozy, comfy socks to knit up quickly for the winter festive season, whether you're knitting for yourself or you're knitting gifts for other people. Yeah, and check out those tutorial videos in the link below in case you need a little help with some of the techniques. And yeah, the pattern set is a really good one. I'm really, really proud of this one, and it's really easy to follow. There's a lot of information in there. Some of this yarn, let's talk about that really quick before we go. I used a lot of scraps that I had in solid colors, and then I used a lot of Lang Jawal. So in the pattern, I put all Lang Jawal colors. One, because I don't remember what some of this is. It was truly like little solid colored scraps. That pattern would have been 30 pages long if I tried to list out all these different random yarn brands and stuff. So I just stuck with Lang Jawal colors for the pattern. And luckily their color line is massive. So it was really easy to find colors that pretty much matched any color I used that wasn't Lang Jawal. So they're really budget friendly, great place to start if you need to add some solid colors to your collection, but these are also great for stash diving. Obviously, you can dip into your solid color stash and create beautiful palettes out of what you have, but Ling Jawal is a good option if you need to beef it up. Anyways, really fun week. I really enjoyed getting to show you all of these beautiful, beautiful socks that I've been working on. Had so much fun knitting them. I hope that you have a good time knitting them too. Please share what you make on Instagram or email me your finished projects because I cannot wait to see these popping up. And I know that I'm going to get so supremely jealous. People are going to come up with amazing color combinations and I'm going to be like, oh, I need that. I need to knit that. So yeah. This week I'm off to Boston. I'm going to be there for a week. My son is auditioning for music school up there, so we're going to take some time and explore Boston, and he's going to do his audition, and so that's going to be a good time. I am, of course, working up December Cuff Club. That's coming up, and then I've got some other fun patterns down the pike for later on down the road, but I'm still living in beautiful Fair Isle inspired Shorty Sock land for a while more, and I'm very excited to wear these while walking around old cobblestone streets in Boston. So thank you so much for joining me this week, and I will see you next time.